Yeah.
Pinoy. Mga
Absolutely.
bayan, turn up!
Yeah, and I think the Yasuo here is particularly gonna be good. And the reason for that is you have the Rakan, right? You have the Rakan for side of SUNSPARKS, and with the knock-up from the Rakan, Yasuo can follow through with the ultimate. Now the question would be if Yasuo can get the early game, because items are gonna be very important for that Yasuo. If Infinity Edge, if the Static Shiv is not gonna be available for that Yasuo, his items, his damage is not gonna scale out.
Yep. Yep. Especially the static. Probably the Infinity Edge on the priority of this. Yasuo. Angel actually misses the proper spot for actually flashing. I think if you are sticking on that Raptor cap, you need to flash towards that hallway for the mid. For the mid, and he only has to deal with the Ziggs if he flash on that way, on that part. But here we go. It seems that SUNSPARKS is eyeing on punishing the jungle, really. And Wukong, despite the nerf, still okay in the jungle, but if punish, would be delayed heavily towards his level 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you're not supposed to give this early to the matchup against SUNSPARKS. And I've stated it already, you have the Yasuo that's just gonna scale out in terms of items. And if you keep on giving them gold, if you keep giving them items, it's gonna be very, very hard for AEG to just scale out against SUNSPARKS at this time. And you know what? A very, very early pressure in from the Yasuo into the mid lane against that Corki. And I think Corki is gonna have a hard time when it comes to the early game as well, because it's also important for the Trinity Force to be available and also level 5 for that Corki to just have that power spike. So earlier to the matchup mid lane, I think it's gonna be the disadvantage from that Corki in this matchup. And when it comes to the Baron laner, what do you think?
Well, if we're considering the Baron lane, this is supposed to be 50-50 in my opinion, because it's not just the range of Hellgirl that is okay. Chami has the adaptive defenses too. If he's within the range, he can snap onto Hellgirl. And remember that Chami already burned his own flash. So he's waiting on the initiate from Hellgirl here so he can bait with his own barrier. But this will heavily fall on the jungle side. But the problem here is why Chami is so confident in making this dive, in making this engage, is because this Lee Sin and this Rakan continues on keeping tabs on Angel.
They need that information, and having that information is just going to be very, very important when it comes to trying for a gank, trying for a play. But now, speaking of play, we're going to have another fight as Wukong is stayed pinned down against the enemy team.
We're going steady here.
And at the same time, though, having the Gragas and Camille, in terms of a mid-game, late-game fight, I think the explosive cast is just going to directly counter against Camille. Right? So that is something to take note. That is important to take note, because if the Hextech Ultimatum has been casted by Camille, easy clappers for that Gragas to just go for the explosive cast and disable that.
Alright, they're going towards Hellgirl and not even needing to actually finish this. Chami, his path is actually blocked there and is still not within the circle. That cannon minion is not within the circle of the turret. That's why the turret aggro didn't pass on. And yeah, one kill was given towards AEG.
Yeah, it's now gonna be a 4-1, but still 3k gold lead coming to the side of SUNSPARK at this time. And I think that was a pretty good trade. You know what? That first kill coming in for the side of AEG was only to the Baron laner. So the jungler was still available and not getting killed. You still have the mid laner and even the APC into the Dragon lane. So a very good trade coming in for the side of SUNSPARKS, as Yasuo looks to be very aggressive.
Fortuna actually, I think he got the boots. Renoa still has no boots here on this Brum. That's my best bet. He does. But Fortuna, what boots does he have? Alright, he got a full boots here. Level 2, 1, tier 2 on the Mercurial, so on the Mercury threads. And I think that would be it for him. That would be it rather for Renoa. The thing here is that with this kind of lead, with this kind of map control that SUNSPARKS has, they will, it might be it might be very easy for them to get a nice foothold on this Cloud Drake that is about to spawn into the Rift.
Yeah, and as Tazran have stated, AG has wasted 2 ults, like the Glacial Fissure and the Bullet Time from the Misfortune. And I think you need to just save that up when it comes to like a 5-man type of situation or a 3-man type of situation, or to really just keep you safe. But the problem here is Braum died in that fight as well.
Yeah, you have to account whenever you're using your ult. What is the most optimal time using or getting that level 5? The ideal part would be on the 3-minute mark. because on average, ultimates last for about 1 minute. So that by the time that you get the dragon fight, you have your ult ready. And if you use it around 3:30 or 3:45, then yeah, you're not so equipped in taking the fight here at the Drake. And now, just a quick spot against that misfortune down at the bot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like dominant in plays from the side with SUNSPARKS. And look at that. Yasuo with the early 2 kills from the mid lane now has the static shiv.
Yeah.
It's gonna be massive. It's gonna be a good item for the side of SUNSPARKS. But now into the mid lane, as Wildrift is gonna be secured by SUNSPARKS, they're going to look very aggressive.
The problem here is that for the side of AEG Dahlia, 2 lanes will be pushed very hard because it's not anymore the Ziggs lane. Also, the Yasuo lane has very good wave clear in the form of the static shiv. So lots of pressure on that guy. And remember that one of the strongest skill of... Oy! Hold that thought! It would be Fate flashing out. But of course, Jisoo, I think Jisoo, if I'm not mistaken, will be able to land a bullet onto the Lee Sin.
Lee Sin actually getting killed. And thankfully enough, that there's no objective still available right now into the map. But now it's gonna be AEG looking for that 2 kills into the bot lane.
Oh, lots of bursts coming in from Sets. That's the problem. And even Jisoo is not allowed to actually fall back. He just receives and got cornered by Sets. Here down at the bot. This Ziggs is now unstoppable, sitting on a running KDA of 5-0-0.
That ultimate from Ziggs just changed that whole thing upside down against AEG. I mean, they had the advantage. They had the 1-member advantage in that fight. But when you have the Rakan go for a knock-up with the ultimate of a Ziggs, that just states a death sentence for the enemy team.
Yes, yes.
So...
plus the push.
yeah.
I mean, if team fight is won with the Ziggs already alive, deliver him to a turret, and he will just melt and destroy those turrets. And remember that Ziggs makes him to be like a weak champion, but he is designed for this strong push, right?
He's very, very good in terms of taking turrets.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, right now, it's gonna be the Rift Herald available into the map. Anyone to take, but Yasuo going in for that early aggression into the top side of the map. It's gonna be the red team destroying a turret in their favor. Now it's gonna be 2 turrets down. It's now going to be sitting at a 11k gold lead this early into the matchup. Okay, I was shocked because I was looking at the stats into the top side of the screen and looked at an 11k gold lead, and boy oh boy, I'm shocked.
Herald is there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see how Chami, he wants to commit, he wants for the dive. And I think that's very risky. Still has his barrier on. Lots of sustain. They get followed up by the Mega Inferno Bomb, ladies and gentlemen. And Chami fall down. And also with this Rakan, Sets tries to follow up, puts in a satchel charge. Members here of AEG takes momentum as they group up. The 2 members in exchange for 1 against SUNSPARKS.
That Glacial Fissure way, what is I think was the key in that fight. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did
Yeah. Maybe a wrong press there by SUNSPARKS. You got Fate here, got the Sonic Wave, Resonate, and also gets the kill against that Corki.
I didn't know what happened there. It just says that SUNSPARKS just surrendered, but yeah, I think that was a mistake. Nevertheless, yeah, I think that Glacial Fissure from that Braum in that fight in the top side of the map was actually quite key for them to get those 2 kills instead of a 1 kill for the side of SUNSPARKS. So very good initiation, very good ultimate from that Braum in that fight. But the question here would be is if they could do it time and time again in this matchup, especially considering that right now it's gonna be the 14k gold lead for the side of SUNSPARKS.
Well, they can melt. They can melt through the ranks of this Camille. They can even melt maybe the Rakan if ever there are attempts to dive. If you layer these 3 big ticket ultimates in the form of the Glacial Fissure, Cyclone, and even that bullet time. And then you can just use the explosive cast as a safety measure or maybe a pick-up kit. There's the Valkyrie, and without that, we know how the Camille works against the Corki.
Yeah. And now it's gonna be very important to take note. 15 seconds remaining for the next dragon to come up. And this is not just any dragon because this is gonna be the Infernal Rake. But now, it's the top lane.
Gonna misfortune getting killed also, and of course followed up on the knock-up there would be a Yasuo last breath. And remember that this is just the top lane we are looking to, but a Herald has been spawned down at the mid, and plus with the Ziggs, this is clearly an easy take for SUNSPARKS.
I think it's just gonna be very hard right now for the side of AEG. You know what, like considering you have the Infinity Edge already, you have the Static Shiv already for that Yasuo, he's just hitting like a truck against the enemy team from those pokes, from those initiations, and from those all-out ins from that Yasuo. It's just very, very scary. Although, what AEG could potentially do is to try and dominate that Yasuo so that they could punish SUNSPARKS in this fight. Because if the Yasuo is gone, you don't have the wind wall so that the bullet time could actually connect against the enemy team. And therefore, preceding them to make an advantage in those fights. So I think that's going to be very important for AEG to take note that Yasuo should be killed, should be dominated for them to take the lead.
One thing I learned when playing against the Yasuo, you need to wait out for the wind wall. Yasuo is very vulnerable without the wind wall. So good, Yasuo was really capitalized. Not just on the Tempest. Nice knock there against 5-7-2-2. He did went too far with his sweeping blade. Went within turret range and allowed for AEG DAHLIA to actually answer form with the Cyclone. Cyclone round 2, though there is another one that would be of Fate along with Fortuna. Ganking up and of course bagging in the Lee Sin. Sets also for the backup. Went in for the satchel. Displaces Rinoa. Who will dive? Who will go and embrace here? AEG. That's gonna be Chami. Stunting down at the top lane side. He went for the Hextech also but a bit late because the Wukong is already far gone. Also under misfortune. Once on the hook shot. A kick to the resonate. And I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of it's an ace, not an official one, but a clear ace against AEG DAHLIA.
That Camille Trinity Force and that dance and even the Stasis answer just enables him to just go around the map, go for the flank, go for the kill, even diving in the turret because he is sustainable. He is able to go for those prolonged fights, and that's just scary, right? Giving a lot of items, a scaling type of draft with a Yasuo, a Lee Sin, and even a Camille, for this matter, for the side of SUNSPARKS, just puts them in a very, very bad situation for the side of AEG.
Yeah, man. They need to actually fall back a bit. I think there's a chase that was done right after 5-7-2-2 was punished down at the bot. So I think what happened was the Angel committing the second Cyclone onto that members of SUNSPARKS down at the triangle brush in the bottom lane. So, I think after taking one, they just need to fall back, then reevaluate, regroup, then land another more ultimate because they have a lot of big ultimates anyway. Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think AEG right now should capitalize on the ultimate. Buttercom went over the charm!
Oh my god, that was big coming in from the damage delivered here by the Ziggs. And I think that's it. All fats are melted against the Gragas, ladies and gentlemen. 26-6 for this running game. And SUNSPARKS pocketed in 3 members of Team DAHLIA.
Hey, that beer belly wasn't able to protect him from that massive battle, right?
Yeah, man.
I mean,
big AoEs from SUNSPARKS. And of course, with this 12-minute mark, they're gonna be taking in this Baron.
Yeah, it's too early of a game. Right now, if you're looking at a standing 26-6 in like a 25k gold lead or 27k gold lead, considering that they've got the Baron already. I don't know. That's probably the biggest gold advantage guys I've seen in tournaments.
Yeah, alright. And Chami spotted out Jusu here, and he did try to flash out, but of course Chami is still within that range. He also takes another ADC. If right after the misfortune, the Corki will be next. And let's see, they went for Angel. He did for the hook shot just to fall back as the Braum and the Wukong collapses onto him. And Chami taunts back here at the bottom lane. They got the Rakan. They also have the Lee Sin going for the push. The quickness is casted, ladies and gentlemen, and the Inhibitor Chariot that made us also destroyed. Zeds is just maintaining his own distance. He wants to go for the wave clear. They're now facing into the front line, and Zeds also is spamming all of his spells. He's just playing around. Let's see here, as you can see the Lee Sin down at the back. Last breath by the Wukong, and Chami focuses onto the base, finishes this game, and SUNSPARKS takes a victory against AEG DAHLIA.